Good Friday, YouTube modeling community. This is the bench update on Wife's Choice. Like I said, it's not done. It's about 90%. I'll tell you what I got left to do first, and then we'll take a look at it. So I've started on the engine detail. I still have to put all the little fiddly parts on there and some decals and, plumb it and wire it and all that. But I've got, pretty much everything ready to go. And as far as the interior, I still have the gauges to put on the roll bar going down on the driver's side. There should be, I think I'm going to use 2 or 3 little gauges and a tachometer, kind of angled off the roll bar towards the driver. I still have to install the nitrous tank and the line and the shifter. And then I got to find a fire extinguisher in my parts box to add to that also, just as a touch of detail. The outside is done. It's been wet sanded, polished, waxed. The stance is spot on. Tires and wheels turned out great. The only thing I had to do in the front to modify it the way I wanted it was to switch out the rotors. So I used a set of Detail Masters rotors. So they're photo etched because they were thinner than the Ryan Jones ones that I was previously using. Or not Ryan Jones. I think these are ones that I printed. So, I could have hacked the back of them off to make them thinner. But, these look really, really good in there. And the back ones look really good too, considering they're 23s in the back and 19s in the front. So, as far as modifications, I did find out, and I kind of knew from previously, the one we just saw this past week, the Yanko Nova. This stance is how I wanted that one to look. Only a little wider tire in the rear. I had to really hack this thing apart to get these to fit in there. So I know if we revisit that Yanko Nova, which we probably will, and do it the way I originally intended it to be, and have them kind of maybe set side by side, show the before and after, maybe a transition from Resto Mod to Pro Touring type thing. My wheels are spinning. They have been since we talked Wednesday about it. So the more I think about it, as soon as I can, I'm going to get another Yanko Nova kit and get the paint ordered and contact Ryan and order a set of wheels like he made for the Ring Brothers Charger, because those tires and wheels that were in my vision originally, is just none were made that wide. Let's see. Like I said, later today, sometime today, I've got a shipment of paints, like we talked about yesterday, from Tropical Glitz coming in. A bunch of masking tape, some real thin line. That way I can do the roof of that truck, and then, whatever else comes along the way, I got to tape off. And then Monday, I've got another order coming in. I don't know if it'll be in time for mail call and Mental Mondays, but we'll see. It just all depends. So we got that covered, and we'll show it at the end here, the Nova. First, thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. I appreciate you, and I'm trying to, as they come through, to just at least subscribe to your channel. If you're somebody new, to YouTube, or you do something totally different than model cars, it doesn't mean I would never be interested in watching your videos, because I would. YouTube is like my TV. That's pretty much everything I watch, whether it's informative, it's hobby related, art related, music related, it don't matter. To me, I find YouTube very entertaining, and that's pretty much the route I go. I do have some favorite TV shows, don't get me wrong, but in a pinch, a 5, 10 minute, 15, 20, 30 minute video. I really like the documentaries, especially on World War I, World War II, Vietnam War. I watch a lot of that. That's kind of where my heart pulls towards a big diorama of military, the tanks and jeeps and the army men, whatever you want to call them, soldiers. But in my personal time, that's what I enjoy as far as watching any TV. So yeah, thank you guys. The channel is growing. Like I said, I'm not so worried about the analytics right now. It's kind of helpful. I mean, I guess in a way to let me know where I'm doing good or where I'm doing, poorly at. And I know my videos are long, and a lot of people don't want to sit there. The average time is like almost 8 minutes. That somebody, I guess, is willing to sit there and watch it. Now, I know a lot of people that do. They'll watch it all the way through, no matter how long it is. And, I appreciate you. But all I can say is, if your attention span's 8 to 10 minutes, that's fine. Come back and finish the video, though. Because, like I said, I'm always all over the place, jabbering away. And I don't want you to miss something that you might find interesting. You may not, but, that's what that comment area is down there. If you got any comments, leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, drop me a comment, all positive in the comment section. If you want to, hash something out, or you have what I call people with higher opinions, my email is down there in the descriptions. Email me. We'll talk it through. Like I said, I could totally be wrong. I'm not one of these guys that think I'm right about everything. And I'll be glad to communicate positively, through an email. I don't want to argue and fight with anybody, but I'll be damned if, you got a better way. I'm your student, you're my teacher, so, that street goes both ways, and I'm willing to listen. We are, I'm trying to get better equipment in here for a better quality video, better angles, hands-free, that way you can kind of see what I'm doing, especially when I'm doing something to show you how to do something. It sucks when it's, a distance and hands are in the way and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's out of the way. Third, remember that after this video posts today, by midnight, Eastern Standard Time, I'm on the east side, I'm going to tally up all the votes for the Viewer's Choice build. And we'll probably do this like once a year, Viewer's Choice. I'll give you guys, 2 or 3 models to choose from. You just, through the videos and over a 2-week period, I'll tally up the votes, and that's the one we'll build as Viewer's Choice. This one will be, 2022. I'll display it in a display case with that label in there, Viewer's Choice 2022. You guys will get to see, the process. It'll be updated on it'll probably be updated on Fridays. There'll never be a super long build. But that said, if you guys are, want to see something, that you see in the background here, we can open the box up. I'm not scared to open the cellophane off the boxes. I know Matthew struggles with that. And I totally get it. It's like baseball cards, if they're sealed and they're vintage, you really kind of, you want to know what's in there, but in the same fact, the value of it's worth more if it's all sealed up. So I can understand both sides of the fence of that debate. But with me, I open them because I want to separate the tires, because a lot of times the tires aren't in their own little bag and they'll melt into the styrene. I want to take an inventory of the parts, make sure everything's there. If something's missing, I can contact that company and let them know something was missing, and I can get the parts sent to me. So when I do go to build it, I have everything. And most of these are hand-picked, other than ones that were gifts or I picked up in a haul somewhere. And I didn't have a choice. I just bought the whole lot of them. But most of them are hand-picked by me and are for, a specific build or an idea that's floating in my head. I'm trying not to gain a whole lot more kits, just certain kits as they come out, and then a few that, I used to have and I no longer have, that I do want to build now, that are sentimental to me. One is a 64 and a 65 Cadillac. I know Johan made them. The 64 was a convertible, the 65 was a hardtop. They were both owned by my father. who is no longer with us. He passed away back in 2012. And I have another one coming up. It was my mother's favorite car, which was a 67. It was a 67.5 Mustang. It was a pony edition. It was a beautiful car. It was gold with like a cream color interior, cream color vinyl top on it. And then, of course, it just had hubcaps. It had a straight six in it. It wasn't, no hot rod or anything, but, she loved that car to death. And the car was given to me, which I restored it and, hot rodded it up and then, turned around and sold it, which I wish I hadn't done. But, I was young. It really didn't matter to me, but it does now. So, there's a few that I want to build. And there's a couple that are like the AMC Javelin. I think it's a 69 Javelin. Ring Brothers built one. Like I said, you need to go to their website or over to Instagram and check out their page, and you'll see it. It's a goldish color. It's like a candy gold over a metallic gold, and it's Pro Touring all the way. It's super fat, wide tires in the back. It's sitting down on the ground. It's got this huge engine in it. But I got enough research pictures of the car that I've been wanting to build this one for like 5 years, and every time I go to buy the kit, it's like I can't bring myself to spend almost $200 on a vintage kit. I wish they would re-release that. The problem is I think the molds are were destroyed and they don't have them. I just wish somebody would remake the molds and reproduce the kit, whether it was a popular kit or not. To me, it is, and it's my #1 holy grail. And I'm willing to find one, even if it doesn't have the tires and wheels with it or the engine in it, as long as it's got the interior tub, the glass, the front clip, rear clip, bumpers, and the body. That's all I need, because it's going to get that'll be a showpiece, same as that Trans Am I've been working on for a couple years. And those are probably 6 month to a year builds. So I got big plans for one. It's just the balling on the budget doesn't always allow me to just spend $200 on a kit when I can take the $200 and buy a lot of stuff that I use every day, like paints and thinners and tape and so on and so forth. So yeah, midnight tonight. I'll tally up all the votes. Right now, the Impala is in the lead by like 2-1. There is a couple for the truck. I think there was one for the rat rod. So, you guys get down there and just drop it in the comments. I pick, the 58 Impala. I pick the, 1950 Chevy 3100 pickup truck. And explain that one, because I really haven't gotten a lot into it. That truck will be slammed. Probably will sit on those wheels we got in from Ryan Jones. And it's getting a candy paint job on it. It's blood red with a candy, or it's candy blood red, but there'll be a base red underneath it of metallic, and then the first coat will be that galactic silver that you saw. So it'll be a cool kit, sitting on airbags. Not a lot of detail. A little bit of detail underneath the engine, just a quick build. So that's the one. The 58 Impala is basically box stock, just with a set of aftermarket tires and wheels and a little doodads underneath the hood. The rat rod is one that would be a longer project, because it's going to be my first one diving into the weathering and using different techniques and rusting it and crusting it. And I got some ideas for the interior, and it's a neat little truck. I got some ideas for the engine, so on and so forth. It's just I'm making it viewer's choice. You guys get to pick which one I do next. So I've had, like I said, a few guys pop off and put a suggestion down there, and I greatly appreciate that. I don't always have all the ideas, so getting your guys' input helps a lot. Like I said, if you guys like what I'm doing here, always hit that bell notification so you know when my videos come out. Drop a subscription. It doesn't cost you nothing, even if you never come back and watch again. Bare minimum, always drop a sub, because that's what I do. I'll go watch anybody's video, And if it's just something I know I'm not going to be interested in, or it doesn't pique my attention, I at least drop them a sub and a thumbs up, and I'll leave them a little comment, and then I just go on my merry way. But by getting all that helps everything. It helps the channel grow. It helps me be able to get bigger and better things in here to show you guys that maybe you do want to see that I don't have here. And working with Mark as an affiliate of Hoppy Nut Models, that's helping a lot. We got some big things coming, some product to show. Same with Ryan. He's going to be sending new product all the time for you guys to see. Some of it will be before it's even released on his website. Some of it will be just right as it's being released. But it gives you an idea to get a close-up look at, at it. And like I said, we are going to apply a set to a kit, so you can see how I, have to modify or whatever I got to do to get them to go on. Sometimes they're sweet. You can actually use the backer plate, whatever you want to call it, off the kit, and attach it right to the wheel, and boom, put them on just like you would the kit tires. Other ones, yeah, you're going to have to modify, whether it be the suspension or the brakes, whatever, to get them to tuck up inside the wheel wells and look right and sit right. But I'll always let you know that. And Ryan, if you have anything custom made, Ryan's going to let you know that too. Like I said, I look at it, it's just a piece of plastic. I know I can cut it up. I can patch in styrene where I need to, putty it up, sand it down, get it looking good, and go from there. So remember, get that vote down there. Always hit those links down there. Go get you something from Hoppy Nut Models, even if it's a little jar of paint. Something you're looking for specifically. He's got that full line of MCW paints basically, and the thinners, the hardeners. He's got all that stuff to where you can get started with that. And I think like a jar of paint's like $6. And I think if you're really careful and cautious with your painting, I know previously from paint jars that size, I can get anywhere from 2 to 4 kits with that color. And it just all depends on if you're doing a whole paint job, or if you're just doing, a sectioned off and it's one color and then another color. You could probably do even more. But it's in how you thin it down, how you mix it, and the amount that you're using for the kit. Like I said, I never put no more than 6 coats of paint on a model. And when you get into the enamels, they're a little thicker, and then you thin them down so it stretches out almost like a lacquer, so it sprays pretty thin. At least my experience with testers. I haven't sprayed MCW yet, but we're going to, and I'll get a feel for it, pretty quick on how it works. But that's why he came on board. He likes what I was doing. He likes to pay it forward. I'm trying to repay it forward to everybody. So go there and check him out. Pick you up something. Same way with Ryan. Hit that link. Go look at his Colts page. Go look at his own web page. Get you a set of tires and wheels. I've had a lot of comments saying guys that's been with him from the beginning, like me, and they love his product. One gentleman had like 25 plus sets of wheels. That's I got a little bit more than that, but he's doing about the same as me. They're unique in themselves. I actually have a friend that loves all styles of wheels, and in his shop, he's got an old hot rod that he tinkers with, but he's got like custom wheels hanging on the wall in his shop. And if I ever get a chance to go over there again, I'll shoot a little video of it. But he's got, that, and then down on his workbench, he's got a few models he's built over the years. He's not an avid builder, but he collects the wheels off these models. And I've told him, between Steven Zimmerman and Ryan Jones, they pretty much got everything you need. And he's, I guess he's getting ready to get some, and he wants to make a wall of nothing but different style little model wheels. And I thought that was a cool thing to have up in your shop. I personally couldn't separate a set of wheels just to have one hanging on the wall. Maybe now that I'm 3D printing a little bit, and I could probably maybe do something down the road like that. But just, cool thoughts, cool ideas. So let's turn you around, look at, I'll show you the engine first. Like I said, this is an Iceman's Collection 632 big block. It does not come with the coil packs, so I had to scratch build those. But we are drilled out for the spark plug wires. I don't know if this is going to pick it up or not. So where you see those little light blue things on the intake, I've drilled each and every one of those out. And that's where I'm running my nitrous straight into the intake. I've drilled the fuel rails out and made my own fuel pipe with a red anodized connector, a fuel filter. That came from offthesprue.com. So that's in, and then the fuel lines ran down. It doesn't have, you can see it's got a blank plate down here where the fuel pump would be. So it'll have electronic fuel pump. So I just got to make that connection. Let's see, the nitrous line I run from the bottle up to a fuel block that I've made, and that'll feed into the solenoids into the intake for direct nitrous injection into the intake. So, you know, the engine's got great detail. The radiator hose, upper and lower, are already drilled out. I still, down here on the front plate, down here behind the alternator, it's got to get 2 holes drilled, and that's where the heater hoses will come out and run back to the firewall for the heater hoses. The alternator is drilled. I'll run wires down through and back to the battery. I still have to put the starter on. I still have to put the decals on the oil pan, decals on the oil filter. Just a little mental thought here. If you ever buy this engine from Joel, keep in mind that's a deep sump oil pan. I would definitely look into a standard oil pan for this engine, or find somebody that can print you one, because when this is in there now, the oil pan's sitting on the ground. And I always like to have a little clearance. I know in real life, even some of them are so close to the ground, but this one sits right on the ground. And I have no choice, because there's wife's choice. That's how I wanted the stance on that Yanko. And this one's sitting perfect. You can see underneath it's got the traction bars. I angled the leaf springs in off their normal mount. I still got some cleanup and touch up to do underneath there. And then relocated the leaf springs to the inside of the frame. And then I had to drill out the muffler on each side there. And then I used solder to run the exhaust up and out and around the springs. Those still got to be glued in place. But yeah, I mean, the engine fits down in there. I'll show you here in a minute. But you can see the front bumpers in. Everything, you know, lines up nice, sits good. She's got no motor. She can't go nowhere. But she does fit down in there. So you can see it's just sitting in there. It will sit straight. There you go. Like I said, the engine is sitting on the ground because the front end sits so low. I mean, without changing the whole front clip of this car and raising the control arms and spindle up higher, you know, you're not going to get that car any lower in the front end. That's as far as I can get. You can see in there and see those rotors too. Rotors and the calipers. Rotors and the calipers, they're all in there. Like I said, they're all mounted. It's not married together all the way, it's just mocked up. I do this as a final thing to make sure that I don't have to do any adjustments. She's not sitting right, so the hood's not going to fit on there perfect. There we go. You can kind of see, even with the engine sitting that high, everything clears. It's just I got to get all the final thing, to get the transmission in it, the drive shaft, so on and so forth. But like I said, I'm just going to work on this little bit by little bit. This isn't a rush project. I kind of wanted to get it done in a month. We're only 2.5 weeks into what I have right here. And, you know, it went really quick and easy. I was more disappointed in myself. My measurements were off, which happens, you know. Everything can't be perfect. But, you know, that said, I'll disassemble it here real quick, and you guys can get a shot of the interior. I just got to be really careful now that the okay, so you can see tires and wheels are all mounted, everything's done. Now you can kind of see where I cut into the fender well to let these tires come in. I mean, in real life, you know, this wouldn't be functional because they would rub the hell out of the, you know, the floor pan of the car. You know, this would probably be cut in more and then tubs made, which you can do. I mean, by cutting them out this way, you're just going with the natural curve of the wheel well, and then you just come in probably almost to that gas tank mold right here where my finger is, and then straight down and down to the front of the wheel well, and then, you know, bend real thin card styrene and make your tubs. You know, and then of course you need probably go with a 4-link or something like that. This I just use stock suspension. I just made it work. That pipe kills me. I have it bent out of the way just to play with some stuff, but pretty much is how it's going to go. And then I'll put exhaust tips on the end of it and polish them out, just aluminum tubing. But you know, everything fits good. It's just, you know, it looks good, and it sits on all 4 tires, which I'm happy with. And you know, as far as that goes, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Just monkeying around with it and trying to get it to go. I'll slide the interior out now, and you can see, you know, the headliner's all in it, matches that red leather look. And here's the interior. These are my 3D printed steering wheel and seats. Now, the seats. One gentleman was saying how they, you know, they wouldn't fit. They do fit, but I couldn't use the brackets at the bottom. That's that 1/8 of an inch I was telling you all about. That you have some wiggle room to still use the product, but you may have to eliminate something. And you couldn't see those brackets in there anyways, even if I left them on there. But height clearance to keep them, you know, below the roll bar, I had to lose the brackets. And these are a taller seat than a stock seat anyway, so stock seat would be right to the back of the seat. But I did do the seat belts. Passenger side is actually locked in place to the molded in. I can't get in there to show you, but that little seat belt connector there, that's molded into the seat. So I kind of drilled it out a little bit and took my knife and made a little slot into it, and I put the actual hardware down into that, like it's locked in place. Nobody sits in the passenger side hardly anyways. You can even see I used one of those little makeup paintbrushes and painted the lines on the shifter. I scratch made the shifter boot. That's just made out of the tack putty. Put it on there, and I worked it with a little toothpick to get the saggy look in it and everything else. You know, and painted it and varnished it. You can't really tell. It looks, you know, good. I know this is coming out backwards to you guys, but so I keep flipping the camera around. I still got to put this bar in, but I want to put the nitrous tank in first. Then I can put this one in. Just making it easy on myself as I go. Does have photo etch brackets on the back of the roll bar where the seatbelt comes up to. And I'll probably put a fire extinguisher here in the middle on the roll bar. So I need to leave that open back there. Sorry guys. Leave this open back here so I can be able to get in there and work. And then I'll put that bar in last. And then the interior will be complete. But yeah, you know, it's a good color choice. The colors look really good together. And like I said, staying with that 4 color, you know, shades of gray, shades of red, different tones of black as far as flat, matte, semi-gloss, gloss, you know, type of thing. Breaks it up a little bit and makes everything kind of stand out. And then I just chrome trimmed the accessories on the door panels. Like I said, just keeping it simple and clean, but yet you get the detail pops out. And you know, we did the back seat delete, so the car was painted gray. I painted all that metal work gray too, because you know that's what would have been exposed. So when the car was in the body shop, it would have been on a rotisserie, and all that would have been painted gray, you know, before any interior was put in. So why not have it look that way? But you know, you can see it sits on there well. I didn't have to modify anything there. It fits just like the kit would. All the, being a show car, the firewall and everything matches the body. Usually I would take the time and I'd smooth the firewall completely out and maybe add styrene card to it. That way you get the nice, smooth, clean look. Maybe would put some stamp detail in it like it's on the fender wells. But, I'm trying to keep it a basic build and a quick build, and it has turned out that way. I've had a few issues. We were able to correct them. I mean, the body turned out great. And the paint job, I was able to get what dirt I had in the paint job out, which was always, a plus. You can look at that shine. I mean, it's, if you're going to get close to perfect, this one is. There's a couple little spots that need some more work on the passenger side over here. Underneath the door handle, I did some additional wet sanding, and I need to polish this out a little bit more. I found a little piece of dirt in there, and I was able to get it out, but now I just got to get it polished back for the shine. So yeah, there's, small list. I got a small list, probably 15, 20 things that I need to do to finish this, and providing it all goes well, it'll go to a show. I will turn the camera around for this, so sorry for the jump. You can see down in here, I gotta get my glasses on so I can see. These are a scratch-made coil packs. They just gotta be cleaned up, sanded down, and then these little pieces of styrene rod will get glued to the top and bottom, and I'll run my spark plug wire out of that to the plug, and then the electronic wire out of the top back. Here is one of the, I can get it. This is one of the little solenoids. So each one will be made like this, but each one goes to a different part of the intake. So on one side there'll be two solenoids. Fuel, I don't know anything about nitrous to know what's what, but I know there's, one for one and one for the other. So there'll be a blue one and a red one on each side of the intake, and then a line coming out of each one of those going back to where to go. Here it is. There's the nitrous block. So each one of these lines will run up to one of these solenoids, two on each side. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's my nitrous tank. I got the valve on it, and one of the brackets cleaned up and put on. I was going to do it red. I did it, and then I stripped it because I didn't like it. It was just too much, so I'm going to leave it chrome. And I got these little decals here go on the solenoids, and then there's my what I'm using for my tachometer. And then all the other little fiddly parts in here. These will be, I use the styrene, and I'll cut it down, and I'll re-chrome it. I cut those down, and those will be my gauges going up the side of the roll bar. I thought I had a set, but I guess I used them, so I don't have them anymore. And then here's the brackets off the seats. I'll keep those for a different build. No big deal. Here's the other roll bar for the back. But you can see all these little pieces of styrene down here. These are all my relays, and then the plug boot, and the other one will be for the electronic side of the coil pack. But those will get all, cleaned up, sanded down, and then there's little rods, put one on the bottom on each one of those little blocks, and on the top, and then I'll put my spark plug wires. Those will be, I'm thinking I'm going to use black for the plug wires instead of red. And like I said, each one of the solenoids will be the anodized blue and anodized red, and then these are the lines. But so I got all the parts pretty much ready to go, and I'll work on it a little bit each day. Primary target right now is next week starting the ramp truck build. That'll probably be Monday. I'll start on that, and then we'll have weekly updates on that. It's a pretty big build regardless. I'm pretty much doing everything box stock other than the car. We will add a little detail here and there just to make it look better than stock, but the truck will be bone stock with whatever comes in the box, and if I have any, parts that would help the appearance, I'll add those. Do have some stuff to show you. Monday, mail call stuff. Nothing big, but I got some mental issues. I got some mental thoughts for Monday. If I get anything more done on Wife's Choice, I'll whenever I do a video, I'll throw in a little info on that. Tuesday will be the next part 5 and 6 of the commission build. At this point, it will be showing you how I modified the front. The rear is done. All the parts are primed. The chassis is all painted. All the parts for the chassis are painted. And then wet sanding of the body. So, make sure you hit that bell notification so you know it's coming. We're at 35 minutes, so we're going to call this quit. I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Again, thank you for all the subs. Keep them coming. The votes for which build you'd like to see for viewers' choice, get it down there in the comments today, guys. This is the last chance to do it. I want to see a lot of comments on which one you guys would like to see, because at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's not mine. So anything you'd like to see. Now the color is picked out for the Impala and the truck and the rat rod. So there won't be no options for that. Same way with the tires and wheels. But it's your choice on which one you want to see me build. And I'll take you through the process as I go, and you'll get to see the finished product. And I'll make an emblem for the case. I've got a case of cases coming, and we'll put it in a display case, and like I said, we'll display it in the room, and periodically we'll get it down again, go over it, and look at it. But you guys have a safe weekend. This is my anniversary weekend. My anniversary was Wednesday. We've been married for 26 years, together for 28. So we're going out this weekend to celebrate. So, we're going to be safe and smart. I may pop up a little video on Sunday of anything I find. I'm always looking for a model kit when I'm out, or parts. So if I find something, I'll pop up a little quick video. And quick, by I mean under 15 minutes, unlike these that run forever. So, peace, guys. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.